Hey y'all, good evening. Good evening. It's Monday. Yes, it's Monday. Y'all already know what it is. It's the Falling to Victory podcast. And I'm
Monday.
yes, Monday. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. One, because it's March. Okay. It's but I'm bringing on some fan favorites. I'm bringing on some newbies. I'm bringing on powerful women of God. I'm bringing on dynamite boss ladies. So I'm super excited to introduce my guest for tonight. But I need you to like and share, please, because I know that she's going to be dropping dimes. I am honored. Y'all have no idea. When she said yes, I was like, screaming, not even joking. This is I say D. Some may know her as Nikki Brown Walker. Some may know her as Reverend Nikki. Some may know her as the short lady with the big boss Jesus moves that she makes. So I'm so excited to introduce Nikki Brown.
Yay.
Yes.
Woo. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Teidra. Thank you for the invite. Woo. You already know how I feel about you. You hold a special, special place in my heart. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much.
You hold a special place in my heart, y'all. I felt like I know this lady my whole life, and I ain't known her and I ain't even known her my whole life. But when I say that she's absolutely amazing, y'all, I'm having hot flashes. When I say that she is absolutely amazing, she is absolutely a doll to work with. Let me just first, I always like to tell people how I feel about them. I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I'm not joking. You received a recommendation for me to work with you on your Ladies Ignite Summit. And I cannot even like honestly put into words just 1 year of working with you. It has been first off, she's crazy, y'all, but I love every bit of it. I'm not even joking.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
I'm not gonna tell her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's not crazy. She's good crazy. But no, I've never met someone so organized in my life. When I say she is like my organization, like soul queen, I'm so serious. But I thank you. I appreciate you, number one, for taking the time out to come because I know that you are very busy speaking all over the world. So thank you for that. But you are an absolutely amazing woman. I literally just watch you, online, watch you in person, watch you do text message, watch you do email. And one thing I can say about you is your integrity, and your character precedes you. You are a wonderful person. And I thank you for going hard in the paint because that's exactly what you do for women, to see women heal, to see women set free, to see women deliver. So I really, really thank you for wanting me. I appreciate you.
Oh, Teidra, that just wow. I'm humbled to hear that. I'm always coming from where I'm coming from and all the work that God has done on my heart and is still doing, to hear you say that is humbling. And thank you so much for those words. Those are kind words. Thank you.
Yes, so let's jump right in.
Let's go.
Yes, I'm like, March, God, give me something. I don't got nothing. I don't got nothing. Then I'm like, I got something. Listen, I have watched you from afar. So my topic is literally watching you from afar, then watching you up close, like literally. But I said, oh, thank you, God. This is literally her. The audacity to say yes, right? I don't know your whole story, but what I do know is I watch you literally say yes. Even when the enemy comes in like a flood, I watch you say yes. Even when obstacles like, hold up, listen, we was in the thick of the woods. You still say yes. Literally. So I said, God, what a great topic. And I know he handpicked it just for you. So let me start with asking you first, what does the audacity to say yes mean to you?
Ooh, wow, what a loaded topic. And I mean, one thing I will say about our Father is he makes it easy at times to say yes.
Yeah.
What I love about God is he said, I will give you the desires of your heart. And when I was growing up in church, I always thought that meant what I asked him for. But really what I'm understanding now, and I believe that there's a part of that scripture that's true that says that. But what I believe God is saying is I put the desire and the passion in you so that when I ask for it back, you're willing to give it to me. Challenge is, not, the challenge is, yes, I'm passionate about certain things that the Lord has put in my heart. The challenge, or rather, that's not the challenge, but the challenge is stepping out in faith. So the yes that he's requiring of us or inviting of us. So let me stop right there. What I've learned about God and courage and, stepping outside of our box is, we'll hear people say, God is, he's been on me. He's been on me. But what I'm learning, the way God deals with me is he invites me.
That's good.
He invites me, meaning he doesn't demand it of me. He doesn't fully require. He requires my righteous living, but he doesn't require me to step out in faith. And I'm going to give you an example of that. When Ignite first got started in 2014, it was what I thought was just a really cool, cute idea. I didn't know it was a God idea. It popped in my head. People have been telling me for years, you should do a breakfast, you should do something. And that particular year, I just felt this press to do something. And I said, okay, cool. I'm going to do a breakfast. It'll be for 50 women. I'm going to go over to Adelphia's in Deptford. Easy breezy. I'm chewing gum all day and can do this because I've done this before. And I got 5 friends. I'm going to ask them, or rather, I actually had 10 friends. 10 friends. They're going to invite 5 people. It's done. Come on. What are we talking about here? All I got to do is sign the contract. And a breakfast was inexpensive. 50 women. I was working at a church where I was dealing with hundreds at a time. So went, signed the contract. And a week later, I was praying, and here was the invitation to say yes to something more. All I heard him say was, it's not going to be big enough.
Ooh.
That's it. He didn't tell me what to do with that. He didn't say, I need you to break the contract. I need you to go back to Adelphia's and ask for a bigger room. He was inviting me in that moment to create or step into a place where I could have more, or I had the option to stay in less.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's all he said to me. He didn't say no more words. And I went back to pray again, and all I heard him say was, the room you're in will not be big enough.
Wow. Wow.
And when we talk about saying yes to God, oftentimes he puts us in front of something and he invites us to walk into something beyond where we've ever been, beyond our bank account, beyond our resources. And he doesn't guarantee an outcome.
I think that part right there
is that part. That's the challenge.
Yeah, and that is the challenge. And I think that us as women, we tippy toe back and forth like we about to get into the double Dutch rope with our yes because of that. The outcome is not guaranteed. The outcome is we don't know what it looks like on the other side. And I think that's when we really play around with the game of fear. And we don't have that bold risk to say, you know what, God, thank you for inviting me. Let me come on in the room.
Absolutely. He does not, because if he told us the outcome, it wouldn't be faith.
Right.
And so I remember in that moment, I remember like, oh my God. And, in my head, I said, well, you know what? If it ain't enough room, then we just sell out and next year.
Yeah.
Right. So we do this whole, well, next time around, right? Next time when I get my more money. And let me not forget to add in the fact that in that year, I was living on food stamps. That year, my husband had lost his job. And
oh my God,
6 figures to food stamps. And in that year, we were contemplating short selling the home because we were close to foreclosure. And he invited me to take a leap of faith to sign a new contract in the same building for more money, and did not guarantee that I would be able to fill the space. All he said is it's not going to be big enough. He didn't say for what. He didn't say, oh, I'm going to bring women. He said nothing. He said nothing. And I remember wrestling, and a lot of people sometimes they'll make it seem like their yes was so easy. The Lord told me and I
Right.
told him yes. No, that's not my story.
Right. Clearly.
I struggled for weeks.
Yeah.
And because I didn't feel like it was a requirement, it wasn't something God is pressing. I didn't get no dreams. Nobody came to prophesy on me. I didn't get I went to church and I heard these 4 messages. I didn't hear nothing. There was nothing. It was just, I'm giving you an invitation to be brave on purpose.
Wow. Wow.
And that right there, when I talk about the book Audacity and we talk about courage, right? So many times we think courage comes with a feeling, or God, there's this quickening that we have. None of that happens. Courage is the willingness to step out of the room of comfort.
That's really, really good.
To step out of the room of comfort. Good. And so at that time, I remember wrestling for weeks on end. God, I don't know what to do. Like, I had $100 in the bank. And I knew that to go back to that building, I had to guarantee more than 50. I had to guarantee over close to 150. And at that time, the money, that I had to put down, several thousand that I would have owed. And I had $100 in the bank. Right now, some people may be listening and say, oh, well, that wasn't a lot. But when you have $100 in the bank.
Right.
And you don't know, and we're struggling already. We don't know what God is going to do. And I talked to a really good girlfriend. And this is how you know God's working behind the scenes. She's normally the scary one. But for some reason, she got faith that day. I feel the Lord. How you feeling the Lord? Just everything within me knew this was the step I was supposed to take.
Wow.
He didn't, I cannot tell you, he audibly told me, walk forward, do it. And this is for everybody who wonders, is it God?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's called 50-50 faith.
Oh, yes. Talk about it.
In lining the fabric of every faith journey is a thread of uncertainty.
Yeah.
See, we don't like to talk about the uncertainty. Lining the fabric of every faith journey is this feeling of fear. And we rebuke the fear, but can I just talk from a therapist standpoint, which is my background? Fear is your body's natural reaction to you doing something out of the norm. It's normal to feel fear. What we do, though, is we allow fear to trap us, right?
Yeah,
Lining every faith journey is a level of uncertainty. There's a level of perhaps God will do it, perhaps he won't. And I have to choose which side of the 50-50 street I'm going to walk on.
Right. That part. That's the part. This side. Yeah, making a choice. Like, what side am I going to choose?
And a part of choosing the side where I'm going to trust God, I've got to lean on his history with me.
Yeah.
I've got to lean back on his reputation with me.
Yeah, that's so good.
Go back. I got to do a look back praise, and I got to go do a look back.
Yeah.
Has God ever failed me?
Yeah. So good.
That's it. And that's how you move forward. Some of us, from at that time, I remember saying, well, God, how am I going to get the money? Show me how to get the money to do this. He said, move and I'll manifest the money.
Jesus.
See, I want the manifestation before the move.
Right.
Nope. That's not how that
works.
And
I think that's how a lot of us are. We want to see, and that's why I believe that sometimes women struggle with faith, because to be real with you, and I'm one of them, I got to see it before I believe it. So that's you said, go ahead and manifest the money. All right. And then I got you. I'm going to do it.
Yes. No, it doesn't work that way. I need you to sign the contract first.
Right.
With no money in the bank, and believe that heaven will back you up.
Yeah. That's good.
Will heaven back me up?
Yeah. Jesus.
Right. And so I remember going back in that place, shaky hands, knees. I was sweating. And I remember her saying to me, so are you saying you guarantee close to 200 women? And I looked, Tisha, I just got to keep it real. I have to keep it real. I was like, I didn't say yes, absolute to God. No, I didn't do none of that. I don't even know if I answered her. I just was like, and she just handed me the pen and said, for this next level, this next room up, you've got to guarantee a certain number. And if you fall short, here's the amount you owe because of the room. In the lower room, in the room that's smaller, you don't have to guarantee that. Can I tell you, faith is our guarantee?
Yeah, that's so good.
Faith is the guarantee. Faith is what you do when you're trying to put something on layaway. Faith is the deposit you make to say it belongs to me. And so I didn't have any money in the bank, but in that moment, I had steady, unsteady faith. There was something in me that said, I'm gonna rely on God's credit with me.
Yeah, that's so good.
If we don't make it, I'm going to be ruined because we're already struggling to pay the bills in this house.
Yeah.
And so I signed the contract, and I'm going to be honest with you. I walked out of that building and I started crying. I walked out. This is real talk. This is real faith journey talk.
Yeah.
I didn't shout. I started crying. I was crying when I started walking. This is real truth. I walked to the car and the tears. And then the Lord spoke and he said, watch me exceed your expectation. In November 2014, there was a line of women lined up in the rain. And let's be clear, them cousins didn't register till the week of.
No, our cousins do.
So I cried. Listen, for anybody who's in the faith walk, who is watching, and you're going through this faith and it feels messy.
Jesus.
I want you to just keep walking through it, because through the month and a half or 2 months that I had to wait, there was no movement. Nobody registered. Nobody was coming. I mean, I probably had, by the time the week prior, I had maybe 25 women registered, and I needed to have 150.
I would have been walking out crying with you.
And I was on food stamps. And when I tell you, I just,
Jesus,
God said, I need to know if you trust me.
Yeah.
Night was born from a yes, but it was born from a yes that had to believe God's track record with me.
Yeah.
And it's not a yes that I felt like a joyous
yes. Right.
It was a struggling yes. It was an uncertain yes, but it was a yes. God will give you credit.
Yeah.
He will give you the credit for an uncertain yes.
Just long as the yes.
It's an uncertain yes. It's a yes with tears.
Wow.
It's a yes with frustration. But God said, okay, heaven, she said yes. Don't matter how she said yes. Doesn't matter how she's feeling about the yes.
Right.
He said yes. We got to pony up. We got to back her up.
Yeah.
And we need to give her exceedingly, abundantly. Come on. Above
so good.
all that she could ever ask or think.
Yes.
So that she will have no doubt. She will have no doubt whose hand was in it.
Jeez.
So I just need, if you are listening and you're walking through this faith journey and you are a type A personality, let me tell y'all something. It's messy. Momentum is messy. The yes is a struggle.
Yeah.
The yes is a struggle. And it doesn't feel good through the whole journey.
Yeah. That is,
real talk.
That's it, y'all. Because that was so good. I love how you said I had to lean on my track record. And I think when you come to the point of like, all right, I'm super duper frustrated. I'm sick of this. It's like, I just don't have no other choice but to trust him. And then you start thinking about the times that he literally showed up in the nick of time, the time that literally he showed up when he was supposed to show up. But like you said, because our some type A personalities go work, or how just we work, I feel like people, as you know, in the natural period, we always want God. God, I know you did it before, but do it again. It's like, no, God, I'm putting a demand on you that you got to do this because I said yes. So because I said yes, I love how you said the yes is the faith is the guarantee. Because I say yes, I have a guarantee now. And you know, I think about how the enemy, and like you said, that thing is that fear. That as soon as that little inch of fear comes, it's like we open up the door and he bombards us with it, and then we go for it. We fall for the trick, like literally. But you know, I love how even in that, right, we fall for the trick. God will still redeem us in those situations and say, okay, you fell for the trick, get up, I got you. And it's like literally hearing a father speak, like, you fell for the trick, it's okay, I got you, get up. Now, make sure you say yes next time.
Yes,
Literally.
Absolutely. And you know, the reality is that when God invites us, he doesn't penalize us often, a lot of times. And I know this goes against all the deep preachers, deep church folk. You know, there's certain things that God is asking of us that, yes, if I say no to it and I'm engaging in behavior that may be toxic, etc.
Yeah.
God wants to introduce us to the next version of ourselves.
Yeah.
When God wants to introduce us to a path that could give us more.
Yeah.
He invites us. Because the reality is we're not going to be penalized for sitting in less.
Yeah.
We just won't have. There are successful people who are stagnant. Meaning they're doing the same thing, the same way, they're getting the same result.
Right.
And that stagnation is they're going to work, they've got a great job, right? There's nothing wrong with that. They just haven't chosen to step into a place for overflow.
Yeah.
Where I was at that time, I was pretty successful. I was running all these different ministries. I was okay. Yes, we were struggling financially. This wasn't about a financial windfall because I didn't make any money from this event.
Yeah.
This was about, here is an opportunity. Here is a decision. And I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Here is a decision that you can make that could take your life into overdrive. And you don't know that yet.
Yeah, right.
Or you could stay the same. And what I wrote about in my book, Audacity to Courage to Let Go and Leap, is sometimes the only thing standing between us and the next level of our destiny is a decision. Yeah. That's it. One decision. That decision could be, I'm going to sign the contract. That decision could be, I'm going to finally call the school and get the paperwork to go back to school to get my next level of degree.
Yeah.
It's a decision. And that's where the enemy stands, in the gap, right?
Yeah.
He cannot take my destiny away.
Right.
But he can stall me on a decision that I should have stepped into years ago.
Yeah, that part.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Destiny is a decision. He doesn't penalize me. He gives me my life. And he says, between the space of when you're born and the space when you die, you can do anything you want with the gifts and the talents that I have given you. They come without repentance.
Yeah.
You can use them for the world. You can use them for the church. I invite you to use them here. I invite you to do this.
Yeah.
But this is your time.
Right.
You can do whatever it is you want with the space in your time. Our assignment is to go to God and say, when you created me, what did you have in mind?
Yeah.
What did you want me to do? He says, well, here's what I wanted. And here's where I'm inviting you.
Yeah.
To be courageous and bold on purpose. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to break out of your box.
That is so good.
See, and that's how God gets me. This is how God gets me every single time. He says, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. But if you don't do it, you won't have more.
Right.
You don't have to. You can stay comfortable in that job you've been in for 25 years. You do not have to take a leap of faith, walk away from your job, and trust me for a coaching business or whatever it is. You don't have to. You can stay comfortable and secure. You will still make it to heaven. I'm still going to be your provider. I'm going to pay your bills, all the other promises, but you will not step into the overflow.
That's so good. That's so good.
That's it. And when God puts that gauntlet
down, good.
When he puts that gauntlet down, like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Don't go around telling people God got me doing No. God ain't got you doing nothing.
Right. You made the choice. You had
been invited. That's right. I said
yes
to the invitation to come to the wedding.
Yeah, that is so good. My husband said, do you want comfortability or overflow?
That's it.
And literally, overflow is connected to your yes.
Yes.
That whole risk of saying yes. I'm going to say yes in spite of, I'm going to say yes. And like, I think about, I keep hearing like that food stamp thing. Like, you know what anybody in they right natural mind would say, but I'm on food stamp. Every crutch, every excuse not to say yes, not to sign a contract. Right. I have $100 in my bank account. I'm on food stamps. Why would I say yes? Why would I sign that contract? And why would I make that decision?
That's right.
To take the invitation. That's so, Jesus.
That's right. And I don't have to. And I would have had the event and it would have been packed out. It wouldn't have been big enough. And I would have just had the event and it would have been, in a tinier space. God still would have shown up.
Yeah.
Just talk real truth. He still would have shown up. He still would have blessed the people, but I would not have stepped into what I could have. And how often do we delay new seasons ahead of us because I was too afraid to step into a new space that God is inviting me to?
And you getting us all the way.
We don't know. That's the other thing. He doesn't tell us what's around the corner.
Yes, right.
We don't know. We just see the risk.
Yeah,
we just see the risk.
Yeah,
that's it. I just see the risk. I don't know. So you're asking me to do what? I don't have the finances. I remember this time just arguing with the Lord on some level, and here's what he impressed upon me. I was like, yeah, God, you should have asked me when I had the finances. And I felt like later on what God showed me is, well, you had the finances, but you didn't have the faith.
Yeah, yes. Somebody just
faith was born in the famine.
Build that faith muscle.
Yeah, man. Because you would have been relying on what was in your pocket.
Yeah. That's so, oh my God, Jesus.
That's it.
Y'all. This is why this woman preaches all over the world, y'all. I'm serious. I'm not even, Keisha said, you helping us tonight. I feel like, I'm like, she is getting me all the way out of here. And I ain't even did nothing. About my life. No, I think that's so good. I wanted to touch on that last part that you just said. One of the things that God told me a couple of weeks ago, he said, less emotion, more faith. And I think, again, it's that fear thing. Once we get tied to fear, we get so emotional, like that. Woe is me. Why you ain't waiting? Like you said, why you couldn't do this when I had this in my account? Why you da-da-da-da-da-da? Can you just talk to us just a tad bit more about that part right there? What is it? And I hear you saying, like, your yes is connected to abundance, but what about if it's just me? Like, I'm in a cycle of like fear. I'm in a cycle of no. How can I break out of this thing and experience that abundance?
Yeah. The reality is that, just like I said, we cannot allow how we feel, that emotion, right? It's natural to feel fear. What we have to do is we've got to deconstruct fear. So I said something in my book as well. I said, we run from fear, but we need to find out where fear lives and move in with it.
Jesus, tell us why.
I'm going to say it again. Find out where fear lives and move in with it. What do you mean by that? You got to deconstruct the fear. You've got to confront it and say, okay, what am I actually afraid of? Because the things we're afraid of, right? We know this, are not real.
Right.
Some of it, well, I might get up here and people may not like it, or no one may read, I don't know what it is, right? Some of those things are just locked in our mind. So we've got to do a deep dive. What am I afraid of? You actually have to talk to yourself and talk it out. And then there are things that are real. I'm afraid that nobody's going to come. That's a possibility.
Right. No, right.
I'm afraid that people will come, but it won't be enough. Like, I'm afraid, here's the biggest one. I'm afraid that what I heard wasn't God.
Yeah.
That's the part that we get so nervous and afraid of. I don't know if this is you. I don't know if this is God, right? And so we start to spin ourselves in this emotional cycle. And so the one thing that we have to ensure is, number one, we've got to get some faith partners around us. Don't talk to the hater. You cannot, and here's the thing. Here's the key. Listen, girls. You cannot talk to the person who loves living in the box about you stepping out of the box.
Yeah.
That's like saying, I'm going to talk to my neighbor about moving out of the neighborhood. She right there with you.
Right. Next door.
You cannot. So you've got to find some good faith partners. You've got to meet. And oftentimes that may be one person. You may not even know that person, but you got to say, how did you know to take the leap step?
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, you need to open up that journal and write out all the pros and the cons, right?
Yeah, that's so good.
Get analytical. Get out of your emotion and become intellectual about it.
Yeah.
I don't have the money. I'm living on food stamps. I don't think it's the best time for me. Write out all those things. That's on the left-hand side. But then write out, have you ever done anything? Have you ever done anything that God, when you didn't have the money?
Yeah.
Some people, Tidra, are going to say no. Well, is God, what is God trying to say to me here?
Yeah.
Do I believe that this is God? Because if I didn't believe it's God, why am I going through all of these shenanigans?
Right.
My fear is an indication that I'm being invited to leap off of a cliff. So your fear is actually pointing to a place of your faith. Yeah. Did you hear that? See, we think fear is this sign we shouldn't do it. But why would I be afraid of walking down the street?
Right.
I'm only afraid of jumping off of a cliff. So if I'm afraid, it's an indication I'm being invited to do something more. And if God is inviting me, now I'm back at the beginning. I got to check in on his track record. Do you see that? Do you see how certain this thing is? What am I afraid of? First of all, why am I afraid? I'm afraid because God is inviting me to do something. I believe God is inviting me to do something. Well, if God is inviting you to do something, has he ever failed you? Has God ever asked you to do anything and he failed you? And most of the time, by the time God is inviting us to take big steps and big risks, he has mercifully and graciously through time, through the journey of our salvation, he has nurtured us and loved on us. His loving kindness has soothed us, and he has shown up for us in small ways and in big ways. So by the time I get to the mountain, he's like, now you should know me by now.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I caught you. And here's what God just said this to me, Tidra, when I went to sign the contract for the Baltimore Convention Center. He said, the same big God that showed up for 100 women, I don't reduce in size based on how big the dream becomes. See, in my mind, I'm like, oh God, is God going to do it? He said, hold it. I showed up for the 100. But in my mind, because that was such a small thing.
Right.
What's the small thing then, though, right? Because we forget about those moments. Once we get past the victory, we're like, yes, okay. Once we hit a new mountain, we wonder, is God big enough for this mountain? Yeah. And he's saying, I don't reduce my purpose. My power does not reduce based on the size of the problem or how much bigger the leap becomes. I'm the same God in the 50.
Yeah.
I am in the 1,000.
Yep.
I need you to sign. Listen, this is 10 years and I'm still sitting at this contract and I'm biting the pen. And he said, sign the contract. I'm the same God that I was. I don't shrink in size based on the size of the mountain.
Jesus. I could throw my phone at you.
and that thing pierced my heart. He says, I don't reduce in size. I know this is the biggest jump you've ever had in your life.
Right.
But I'm the same God. Or rather, the same God that can meet you at the 50, I can meet you at the 1,000.
Yeah.
I'm the same God. That's it. So for anybody who's listening, you're facing a mountain that's bigger than you have ever faced before. You've never faced this mountain before. And it's natural subconsciously to think, can God do it? Not that we're questioning his ability, but we question God's ability in us because we've never faced this mountain. The good news is, and he will remind us of this all the time, you're not the one that's going to be doing it.
Right. That part.
Do I have the skills? Do I have the ability? Can I make it? Or do we have enough people? Are there going to be enough women that's going to show up at the bar? I don't even know. What are people going to say? And he said, the same God in Adelphia's.
Sometimes you got to remind us, because sometimes we get dementia and forget. Like we literally get brain loss and forget. I'm the same guy that showed up there. I loved how you said that he doesn't minimize. He doesn't get smaller. No, more space, more. You know. He told my friend this, and I think you said something similar. I can't remember the exact words, but you said something similar. He told my girlfriend and her husband, their family, uprooted from Philadelphia and made a leap of faith and went to Atlanta. Wow. Literally the day before they were supposed to leave, they got what they needed to get to stay. But one of the things she said, God said, go to the place and then I'll provide for you. But you got to go there first to even find out what I can do. But if you're too scared to go, you'll never see. Like you said, you'll just be okay. I'm still going to take care of you. I'm still going to be God in your life. But if you go to the place, I'm going to do exceedingly abundantly beyond what you could ever imagine, ask for, dream of, even fathom in your mind, literally. And I think sometimes when people say there's no mysteries to God, but I think sometimes that is the part that he leaves out for us. Just go, because I have something so big for you. You're not going to be able to contain it, and you're not even going to know. But it's that, again, that leap of, I have to have the audacity to say yes to even get up to go there to find out.
Yes.
We could be so nosy with everything else,
Everything.
We could be so nosy. Yes. We're so nosy.
We need information.
What you doing? Where are you going? We got, but we won't be nosy enough to say yes, to go to the place to find out what's going to happen. Now, remember, you said a little something on that line. I can't remember, but do you remember? I should say.
What about being nosy?
No, about going to the place and
yes, you want. He says, "I'll manifest when you move."
Yeah.
I will manifest when you move. So you got to actually start moving for heaven to get in alignment with your faith. Faith is a move. Faith is a move. It's an action. It's not this feeling. It's an action. We've got to move for our faith to manifest. And what I love about God, this is what I love about God, is he enables, or I don't want to say the word enable, but he encourages us even in our baby steps. He encourages us even in our baby steps. And so go ahead. You were saying something.
No, I'm sorry. My husband's AirPods connected, so you went out for a second. I'm sorry.
He enables us in our baby steps. And when I say enables us, I don't mean that in a bad way. But what I mean is that, he'll give us those Gideon moments where Gideon had to ask for 3. Well, God, if it's you, make the ground wet, make the fleece dry, make the fleece wet, make the ground dry. Now, God, you did all of that. You did this. Now do this. And he'll say, okay. And his long suffering, his kindness to us, being kind. Yeah. He doesn't get overly impatient with the fact that I might be slow.
Yeah.
I'm slow. Yeah. Everybody type that. I'm slow. I'm a little slow, Jesus. Takes me a minute.
Somebody type that for me. I'm slow.
I'm slow. I'm slow. And he's like, and God says, listen, and this is the scary part though. He says, your time is your time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can wait all the way up till 70 to do it. Not knowing I'm going to take you at 71.
Right.
I'm going to be here when you show up. I'm waiting on you. Your time, you can do whatever it is you want to do in this time. But when the time is over, that time is over. So, yeah.
Yo. Shit. When I say getting us all the way together, you getting us all the way together.
Yeah. It's time. So it is our time. It is our time to, this year our theme is momentum. So I love how, you got this thing called, this moment of first of all, I love the podcast. I'm falling into victory. Into victory, right? It's an action word. It's an action word. We want victory to just show up.
Yeah.
But we got to make some moves to get into victory. We got to get into victory. I need a victory, Lord. You gotta create the victory you want to see happen.
So good.
He's on your side. And so, but this momentum year, momentum is, moving now without, moving in an independent way.
Yeah.
Without a whole lot of stimulus moving, which means this is the moment where I've got to just say, okay, God, you know what? I fully believe you now. I don't need you pushing me. I don't need the prophet, prophet, got 25 prophecies in the last month. Stop it.
It still ain't moved.
It still ain't moved. I keep hearing, you hear people say this. I've been hearing that. God been saying that to me for years. And so over and over, we're hearing the same word over and over. We want signs, but the phone rang 3 times. I'm going to know it's God. He's not doing it.
Yeah.
Not doing it. This is our time to step out and say, God, I take the invitation. I'm scared.
So good.
To death. Lord, God, I have anxiety over God. But I'm not going to let this stop me from moving forward. I'm scared to death. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I don't know what's going to happen, but I am going to move forward. I believe within all of my heart. And this is a prayer. I'm saying this as a prayer. And this is a prayer that I say when we're in that valley of 50-50 faith. God, I believe this is you. If it isn't, show me. Tell me right now. Send somebody. Don't let me move in my own flesh, in my own agenda for what I want. God, I'm coming what I believe is a purity of heart. And God, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to sign this contract. I'm going to get my business started. I'm going to start on this book. I don't know what the end is going to be. I don't know what roadblocks I'm going to come into. I don't know what the obstacles are. I don't even have the money right now to actually publish the book. But I believe that if I move, you will manifest.
Yeah, that's
the prayer. That's it. And I'm telling you.
Jesus.
Watch God show up. We've never seen the righteous forsaken. We have never seen the righteous forsaken. God is our shepherd. I shall lack nothing.
Yeah.
We either believe it or we don't. And you don't have to feel good about it to move forward into it.
That's so good. And that's just like what you said with your yes. It can be a yes with frustration, a yes with tears, but as long as it's a yes. I love how you said, oh my God, y'all, what's your cash app? Y'all need to bless the woman of God.
So
You know, way
crazy.
she just dropped. I'm not even joking. But what I heard in what you said, that last part, what I heard in that last part of what you said was literally is you're pep talking that prayer is pep talking yourself to say
Seriously.
yes. Hype yourself up, girl, because if there's nobody else to hype you up, literally in that prayer, I heard, get yourself together, hype yourself up to say yes.
Yes.
And just in those cliches and allow God to do the rest. But it's like, but no, that prayer literally for me, I just like, I'm hearing you, so I'm like, oh, she just hyping me up right now. Like literally, it is the pep talk that we need to pep talk ourselves.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to stand in agreement with what you said, because I really wholeheartedly believe that this year is the year where we have to say yes. And people say yes afraid, say yes with faith. God, I know you're going to do it. You have to do it, because you wouldn't be dropping this thing on me. You wouldn't be putting this thing on me, and I can't let it go. I think that's the part when God consistently, hey, I told you to do this. Hey, sign the contract.
Yes.
Hey, write the book. And you consistently hear it all the time. And it's like, you just, oh, that's just me talking. No, it's God.
That's right.
Just say yes.
And one thing I'll say, and I know we have to get ready to close, sometimes we don't know if it's God's voice or not. We don't.
Yeah.
And here's what I say, passion often is your indicator. That passion, that thing that you feel like, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
I don't, if you were to separate all the emotion, get rid of the emotion and anything like that and blah, blah, blah. And the Lord said, I'm only going to leave you with two things to do in this earth. You could do one of those things before you die. What would it be? And whatever that thing is, even if he said it in this week or in this month, whatever is the first thing that pops in your head, that's your assignment.
Yeah.
Because it's the thing that when we started off this podcast, he says, I will give you the desires of your heart. I'm going to embed in you this passion, this fire to do something for me that you cannot explain, that you don't have the resources for, that defy common sense, and you're passionate about it. You're just afraid. It's okay. Go with your passion.
Yeah, that's so good.
Your passion will point you in the direction of where you want to go. That part right there.
Point you.
Listen, Deirdre, last week, 2 weeks ago, we had one night of empowerment. The room was full of women. Can I tell you,
crazy.
5 days prior, there were only 25 women registered.
No way.
Seriously. And I'm not saying a month. I'm talking, and that thing cost me money that I didn't have.
Right.
And I remember saying, God, I just felt in my spirit there was no way I could end 2024 without doing one night of empowerment.
Yeah.
So if I was wrong for doing it, forgive me, but I just believed all the way to my toes. And he didn't tell me to do another one night of empowerment. He did not. I just had a passion to see that place, worshiping, crying, reaching for God. It just wouldn't let me go. So I got to do something about it. I prayed about it. God, do you want me to do it again? He was just quiet. He was like this. He was just quiet. Sign the contract. I'll let you know if I want you to do it. No, that's not how it works.
No, not again.
No, come on, God. You never like to go in order.
Right.
But he does those things. Well, he does those things, teacher, so that when he shows up, we know without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Walked into that room and I saw those women. I said immediately, God did this.
Yeah.
Not Niki Brown, not Ignite, not because I paid for an ad. God did this. And that's sometimes what I think why he challenges our yes at times.
Yeah.
And at the end, no man can get the credit or the glory.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely believe that. When we relinquish the control and say yes, he gets the glory. But when we hold on, then we're being glorified. So I definitely do believe that. Y'all, I'm not even. We gonna take up an offer, a virtual offer for this woman.
No, you guys take up.
Oh my God, I'm not even joking. Like, you got us all the way out of here and all the way together. Like, exactly what your mission is in life. Like, literally, for women, you get us all the way out of here, and then you just get us back together again. I absolutely appreciate you. I love you so much, but I do want you to not even think about hanging up without telling us about your book, because I saw a lot of people in the chat talking about where is this book. And then also, please say something about Ignite, and I'm definitely going to say something about Ignite. First off, let me say this: Ignite, y'all, is 100%. I can't even put it into words. I'm not even joking. I went last year and was like, "What is this?" And what in the world is this? Why haven't I been here for years? Literally, my first year was the year before. I'm sorry. It was the year before. Absolutely power packed. 300, 400, 500, 600 women in a room worshiping, praising, getting information, literally igniting our fuel, like literally lighting a little fire under our little booties to move and do what God is telling us to do. It was absolutely 100% amazing. The best experience that I've ever experienced at a conference at all. There was so many people texting me after the conference this year saying, why didn't I know about this? But everybody was posting it on social media, where people were signing up for the tickets because people were posting on social media. So this is how power packed, anointed this conference is. So just tell us about your book and conference and anything else that you want to share. You're coming to the area. Please tell us when and where we can find you when you come.
Well, thank you so much, Tidra, again, for this invite. You know, Tidra is my baby girl. She's my newest baby. I love her, and I know she
chained me, y'all. She got a chain on me. She got a hold on me.
Once I get you sitting in my lap, that's it. It's a wrap. It's like the mafia. You got to die out, blood in, blood out. But Tidra,
real.
I am. Tidra came into our life, and it just into our sphere, and we are the better for it. Our whole team is the better for it. We love Tidra all the way to her toes.
God, I love y'all.
What you get. Audacity, the courage to let go and leap. It is on Amazon.com. You can go right to Amazon to get it under Nikki Brown with 1K. Audacity, the courage to let go and leap. And I literally opened the book talking about that moment of standing in that office with no money, and really God inviting me to be brave on purpose, and to take intentional steps.
Yeah.
The destiny, intentional steps. So we've got some really cool chapters in there that I think will be a blessing to you. Audacity, the courage to let go and leap. And then Ignite Summit. It's going to be November the 14th through the 16th at the Baltimore Convention Center. I just told the story and the testimony about that.
Yes.
And listen, just transparency. I love to keep it real. We're all like, oh my God, what is God going to do? But I signed that contract, trusting and believing in God's track record. Would love for you to come. We have Prophetess Sophia Ruffin's going to be back with us. He has confirmed. Excited. We have Jasmine Skerlark, who is going to be with us.
Yes, excited.
Go to Maryland without inviting the Queen. We have Yvonne Capehart. I will be speaking. And we just got done approving over 18 workshop speakers.
Wow.
About your brand, your business. My lawyer is actually going to be speaking a workshop. We're going to have panel discussions. We have an under 30 under 30 group. We're reaching the next generation, and we're having a 2-day teen summit.
Yes.
So ticket sales. So please, somebody type this in the chat. Whoever's on my team that's watching, as well as Kyle, ticket sales will open officially March 19th. You want to get the sale.
Yes. Tell them,
it's going to be a sale, and you're not going to see that sale for a little while. So you want to get the sale.
Get the sale.
Through the 31st, March 19th through the 31st. We're going to be launching with a virtual pep rally. Me and my team, we're going to be so excited.
Yes, we're so excited.
You will have an opportunity to register for a special sale, and we officially launch March the 19th of this month. But it's going to be at the Baltimore Convention Center, ignitesummit.org.
Somebody type that in the chat.
You can go to our website right now. You can look
Yes.
at last year's promo video. You can kind of see what the ticket sales are going to be or what they are already. You can't register at this very second, but you will at ignitesummit.org on March the 19th. So we are
Yes.
very excited about what God is going to do. The hotel is on the website. You just reserve the hotel.
Yes. Yes.
Reserve the hotel. Thank you, Keisha. Reserve the hotel. Reserve your hotel. You don't have to pay for the hotel right now. You just put it on loan, layaway.
Yes. Look, put on layaway. We love layaway.
Well, layaway, you have to put some money down. This, you just reserve it if you know you're coming. Because I'm telling you, women have already been registering for these hotel rooms.
Yeah.
It's the rooms are going already. So you want to get a room. You want to get that special discounted rate. It's on our website, the hotel that we have a special rate with. So you want to do that.
Yes, absolutely. I must say it has to be a girlfriend's weekend. You know, it's crazy how we'll invest. We'll go to what's it called? Essence Fest and all that.
That's right. Yep.
But this is definitely worth the investment in you spiritually. Your spiritual self shall always be watered. So Ignite is definitely a girlfriend's weekend. Not even joking.
Yes.
I already texting my friends, y'all better come. Even if y'all come, y'all buy a ticket, just buy a ticket. But no, it's definitely 100% worth the investment. It's worth the travel. It's worth the hotel. It's worth just hanging out with your girlies and getting spiritually fed. But I thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Make sure y'all grab her book too, y'all, because if she talking like this, you can only imagine what the book is like. When are you coming to the tri-state area? When's your next? Do you know? Look,
yes,
do you know?
April the 5th and the 6th, we're going to be at Bishop Freeman's conference in Voorhees, New Jersey. Then I believe April the 21st and 22nd, we're going to be at Greater Shiloh for their Women of Excellence conference. That's in Easton, Pennsylvania. And then in June we'll probably be, but April is the biggest one. So we'll be posting that flyer out there. You'll be able to come. Would love for you guys to support Bishop Freeman. She's right there in the Voorhees area. So
yes, and please go to Ignite Summit. Instagram. There we go. That's what I was talking about. Instagram. Follow Ignite Summit on Instagram because it's always giving you information about the conference and also about how to register.
So absolutely.
I appreciate you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mwah.
All that. I love you so much. I appreciate you. I'm so serious. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The people. I appreciate you.
All right.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Y'all.